So without further ado, Genie, you and I have a set to cast.
I know, and I can't believe it, how far we've come. FLIPPA FLOPPA, Starburst. Some may have predicted it, but honestly, I thought it was going to be Flounder versus Starburst. These two teams, they are locked and loaded, ready to go at war. We've got our first map, it's not Sturgeon, it's Hagglefish. It's Hagglefish Market. Why did I think it was Sturgeon? It's Flat Zone, come on.
Yeah, we will be looking straight forward to Splat Zone's Hagglefish, and we know what we are going to be seeing from FLIPPA. We know we're going to be seeing Double Splash, Machine, and a Stamper, or a Rapid Pro. But previously, they did play this map earlier in the tournament, and they did bring out the Heavy. So the Heavy that we got to saw last round on Brine Water, we could very well see that again. Starburst has been running extremely similar comps, but they've been a rotating and stable core built around Double Splash. You either have Double Splash and 2 machines, Triple Splash and a machine, or Double Splash, a try, and a machine. You can see the theme there that they're going for. If you don't see the theme, let me break it down for you. Splash. So
Splash Burst or
yeah, Splash Burst.
Splash Burst, not Starburst. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, I don't think Starburst needs any introductions. And here we are, Grand Finals, Game 1, Heavy Splatling, Splatana Stamper versus the meta.
And, you know, here we go. This is it. This is Grand Finals. This is what both of these teams have been fighting for. This is the rematch of a century. Keep in mind that FLIPPA FLOPPA, if you were just tuning in, did lose 1-3 to Starburst. They were the team that eliminated them and sent them through their losers bracket climb to get back here to Grand Finals. So this is a revenge set.
Revenge indeed. The zone's already out for FLIPPA FLOPPA. They've got the first cap. Starburst is trying to make their way back in, but they gotta watch out. Wavebreaker in the crab tank, taking a lot of damage. Ice is gonna try and stay alive, trying to find the spots that they need. They're trying to go around, dancing around. The Booyah Bomb assistant is coming through for the zone. It's still ticking down for FLIPPA FLOPPA.
They're still maintaining control, and there are 2 members down on the side of Starburst. And look at where Kyo is. Kyo is controlling that. As we get below 50 remaining, they do lose Kyo, but they are having excellent forward paint. Look at all that paint in Starburst's court, all that paint that they have to crawl through to get back at the zone. Those splashes do pop those crabs. They need bodies forward in order to be able to work with them, and FLIPPA FLOPPA holding it here.
The Wavebreaker's out. FLIPPA FLOPPA, they're able to hold on. This Wavebreaker's gonna... They've lost a member on the side of FLIPPA FLOPPA that's painting. The Booyah Bomb's out. Can it neutralize the zone? It will, all the way down to 6. Can Starburst cap it right here, right now? They have to hold on. FLIPPA FLOPPA, they're trying to paint, but the LDE, I don't know if it's being used. The flank coming around, it's gonna come up clutch. Kyo does so much work, and it clutches it out for FLIPPA FLOPPA to take Game 1 over Starburst.
Can you believe it? Genuinely, can you believe it? Keep in mind that I'm gonna say it again. Starburst is the reason why FLIPPA FLOPPA had to crawl way through losers bracket and then to go to a 100-0 KO in Game 1 of Grand Finals. That is phenomenal. FLIPPA FLOPPA needs to win this set in order to move on to a bracket reset, because a team has to lose twice in order to be out of the tournament. This is it for FLIPPA FLOPPA. This is their set, but that Game 1 is a significant momentum shift in favor of FLIPPA FLOPPA, because as long as they win that Game 1, if things end up on their counterpick, if Starburst wins the next game and FLIPPA FLOPPA has to counterpick, that is an A, B, A, B, A, and then it ends with that W for FLIPPA FLOPPA. So I'm looking forward to this, but also keep in mind that Starburst may have gone cold because they've been waiting on their side of the bracket for a long time, Genie.
It wouldn't be the first time that Starburst gets caught cold. Last 20XX, Starburst was a team that was sitting in Grands. They were the team that were up. They were the ones that won Winners Finals. They sat cold, and they ended up losing that tournament to Kings. They were the ones that had the advantage. They had already beaten the same team before early on in the tournament. This would not be unheard of, and it wouldn't also be unheard of for Starburst to do it in this tournament series. Not even unheard of to do it in this game, and we've only had one other 20XX in this game.
What's so fascinating to me here is Starburst's mentality. Starburst has been pushed to a Game 9, they have been pushed to a Game 5, but no matter what it is, they always come out with the W. These are players that they have faced before and players that they are familiar with, players that they know. And so the ability to make an adjustment is something that I absolutely have faith in Starburst to do. So how well is Flippa Floppa going to be able to maintain their A game, maintain 115%, because that is what they are going to need to buzz through Starburst.
It's gonna take a big ask and a big effort. I believe we're gonna be going to a Rainmaker game, and it's looking like Flounder. Flounder Rainmaker is the pick for Starburst. I like that pick. It's an explosive map with a lot of high ground. This could be something that Starburst really, really, really can play the pace over that head.
And I would like to point out that we did have 2 donations. One for 57 cents and one for $100.57. I sense there is a joke there, Jeannie, but I'm not catching it. Regardless, we will be moving on to Rainmaker Flounder, and I had a couple of my friends in VC before you and I came on, Mike, and I asked, why are there so many teams counterpicking Rainmaker Flounder when we all know that we all hate this map? And their response to me was, it makes the opponents uncomfortable, and your only hope is that you can be more comfortable there than they are. So I have a feeling that that's what an experienced team like Starburst is hoping for.
I can agree with you. And I feel like Rainmaker is one of the better modes for this map, just due to the fact that the Rainmaker has to push somewhere. It's not like you just can camp top mid with a zone or like tower or just hold it. You constantly kind of feel like having to be pushed. But if one team gets ahead, I wouldn't be afraid to see it get slowed down. And we've got Tri-Sloshers coming up. Yes. Wake up, everybody. Wake up. The meta's shifted. We got Tri-Sloshers on both sides.
Yeah, we have Kyo on that Tri-Slosher, which is something that we saw earlier in the tournament during their last winners bracket game. And then also on the side of Starburst, Bran on that Tri-Slosher. One of my favorite weapons that Bran could possibly ever play. My first time ever seeing Bran play, he was on that Tri-Slosher. So this hits deep for me, Jeannie.
That's good. That's good. Both these teams, the Rainmaker has not been touched, but what has been is the KDs. Both teams are just trying to see what they can do. I think this toxicness, it really shows on anyone from wanting to cross to get to that Rainmaker. It slows the entire pace of the game. If this is 3 down for Starburst, as one does jump out, we're going to see Flippa Floppa trying veer for this right checkpoint. But we see, is that Brandon in the corner? Will they be able to stop the Rainmaker? No, they do end up dropping down, and Flippa Floppa first checkpoint is there.
This first checkpoint is pivotal because now that they've broken this checkpoint, all they need to do is drop off the wall to get more points. And it's just such a literal slippery slope downhill in terms of steamrolling points off of your opponent. Flippa Floppa having the special and the man advantage. So we're likely going to be seeing another push very soon here, Jeannie.
Yeah, but the Rainmaker, it's going to be resetting. Flippa Floppa, they have to wait in Starburst. They're going to take away that space. Brand's just going to try and push up. The jumps are in Flippa Floppa because they've lost the members. But Starburst, all 4 of them are ready. They're ready to fight, and they're ready to go with these crab tanks. How much damage can they do? And where can Starburst find these splats? It looks good. Trench Warfare is going in the favor of Starburst. They need a couple more splats. They've got another crab tank and a Booyah Bomb. 2 splats for Starburst. They're trying to march this Rainmaker on this right side.
And here we go with the Uno reverse card to try and clear that checkpoint, but they don't clear Kyo off of that right plat, and Kyo stops the push cold in its tracks, and now there is just Bagel up on that top part of mid, left by themselves as Flippa Floppa maintains control of top mid here. Keep in mind, all they need to do is drop off this wall, drop into court, and then that's more points in their favor. Flippa Floppa looking cozy here.
Looking cozy, they just got Uno reverse card again. Time. This is crazy, 2 down. But wait. The last 2 members alive. They're, I believe, got those 2. They're going to try and look for the left side, but they see that Starburst has some members alive. The members of Flippa Floppa, here they go. They're trying to escort this Rainmaker on the right side. This is going to be starting to look good. That Toxic is slowing it down. Crab things are out for Starburst. Rainmaker is able to connect onto ice. But the members of Starburst, here they come. They're trying to rush that Rainmaker, and they are able to spot it.
But that's a very fortunate location for the Rainmaker to go down because it's going to make it so difficult for Starburst not only to break in there, but also to continue a push from mid. Flippa Floppa very quickly recoups that Rainmaker and continues their crusade forward.
This is crazy. Here they go. The Rainmaker's rushing all the way down to 24. What a push. They get shut down with the Booyah Bomb. It's not going to be able to come out from Starburst. They get spotted. This Rainmaker's looking to be popped inside of Flippa Floppa. Can they get some more points? No, the Crab Tank is going to be there to shut it down. Will there be a little bit of a Rainmaker sneak? No, I think they're just no, they did grab it, and it will fall at 24. Wait, hold up. Who's in the spawn? Who came up clutch? This is crazy, and the Rainmaker keeps going all the way down to 7. Flippa Floppa. The push, it might finally be over.
The push that never ended, getting all the way down to 7 remaining, and that is deep, and that is staggering, and that is painful. Starburst not only has to get this fish to reset to get it all the way back into mid, but also they need to physically brute force their way through that first check, and then get it all the way down to a near KO in 90 seconds. They do get the wipe, and now is their opportunity, and they might not get another one, Genie.
Oh my goodness, they want to end this game here now. They don't want to give Starburst any breathing room. You see that there's crab tanks going out, firing at each other. Rainmakers making their way on to this right side. They have to watch out for the first one. They have to watch out for that crab tank. They're going to get shut down. Starburst, they have to take the space. They have to take it now.
They don't. They go down. No, never mind. Starburst is still alive. There's in control of the fish, but they still need to break that checkpoint. Everything is just getting narrower and narrower. They have less and less time as Flippa Floppa comes out of spawn, and now they have this crab to stall out this right checkpoint. Starburst has their work cut out for them.
Losing 2 members, make it 3. Just the Rainmaker alive. Can the Rainmaker go for it? Can they get it? No. Taken out right at the last second. And that's, I don't know if that's a smart play, because that you give all of mid back to Flippa Floppa. 30 seconds remaining.
It is, and look, they're in control of mid, so now not only does Starburst need to break that checkpoint and get it all the way to the spawn, but they need to go through Flippa Floppa first. They need to get a wipe, and how do you do that in 90 seconds? You don't. Starburst absolutely has to pull up clutch here, Genie.
It's gonna be so close. The Rainmaker is stuck in the corner. They see a crab tank trying to fire through. Will he be taken out by the time? They gotta run away. They gotta run away from the members of Starburst. They get a trade scenario until they fall off the map. No. Luckily able to stay alive, and I don't think there's anyone left on Starburst to be able to spot the Rainmaker. And Flippa Floppa, they have a 2-0 advantage in grand finals, and they're coming from the loser side.
They are. They're in match point for a bracket reset. They are in 1 game away from finding themselves on even ground with Starburst. From 1 game away from finding themselves closer to taking grand finals of 20XX. Now is their time to shine, and they might be able to shine brighter than the stars.
That's what everybody hopes for. When you go against Starburst, you try and reach for those stars. But they might be dangerous. But I never count out Starburst, no matter how deep of a hole they might be in. They're always one of those teams that can find that extra gear. But they gotta wake up. They have to be ready, because they've been so darn cold. They've waited so long to be on here. Skep, you and me, we've been on mic for, honestly, what is it, maybe an hour and a half? Starburst hasn't played a competitive match in that long.
No, they haven't. If you have been here all day and been faithful to our lovely and fantastic stream, you will remember Rissa and Dura on earlier today commentating Starburst's winner final set. And that is the last time that they played. And of course, it is natural. You can't just queue into open and expect to stay warm at such a high and top tier competitive level. There's nothing that you can find other than, you know, perhaps ringing together a stay warm scrim. But then if you manage to stay warm that whole time, are you a flicker from burning out? And Starburst may have just exhausted all of their stamina and maybe collapsing into a black dwarf, just sucking all of that energy in because they don't have any left to burn. At least that's what it seems like from my perspective.
Yeah, I don't normally like to put it out, but we can't queue for open. It's Splatfest right now.
Oh Lord, you're so
What are you gonna do? Warm up and salmon run? What is Kohazuna gonna stop you or something? Hey, I'm Starburst. We're gonna fight the Kohazuna now.
Stay warm by wrangling the little Timmy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Tricolor. You can't even queue up as a 4. We're gonna see Clan Blitz on Museum Dolphins. You know, this is our map that the Starburst wants to come back on. But the Rainmaker game looked okay. Flippa Floppa they just played it better. I hope they've got an answer on this conversation.
So, this is a great counter pick for Starburst because Flippa Floppa, this is the one game that they dropped against Last Resort. They won that set 3-1, but the game that Last Resort was able to take off of them was here on Clam's Museum. So, great counter pick. I'm hoping that whatever Starburst hopes to accomplish here does catch Starburst off of their toes because Starburst also won Clam Blitz Museum against Kagura. So, we're in a situation where this is a game that Starburst has lost before. It obviously makes them uncomfortable against a team that they won against, but also this is a game that Starburst knows that they can win on this map.
Two down for FLIPPA FLOPPA Starburst. They got a good opening, something that they haven't had in a little time. Back onto that triple splash, singular machine composition. So much space and so much control. They got a lot of clams in their name, but they need to make the powers and get closer to this basket. They're losing members left and right. Both teams are trading out so far, so scrappy on either side of the map, and I don't think Starburst is going to be able to have a push at all.
Look at all that forward paint that they had, right? They had, like, gosh, 20 clams, and they had orange paint on FLIPPA FLOPPA's plat, but they simply didn't have their bodies there. As I say that, Starburst does look like they are preparing for a push, and here goes that dunk from Ice.
Ice gets that in, and Buoy Bomb comes out. Starburst, they've lost two members of clams in, all the way down to 77. Not a great push. A single power clam and one last. That's, you kind of hope for more in your first push.
You really do, but regardless, it is a push, right? You know, you keep in mind that FLIPPA FLOPPA nearly KO'd that last Rainmaker game, and, you know, the first game was a phenomenal 100-0 KO. So, you know, you have to be thankful for the points that you can get. But look how quickly the tides are turning, Genie. FLIPPA FLOPPA preparing for a push of their own.
They're going. They've got a Booyah Bomb. They've used a crab tank. Kio's already found themselves going down somewhere on that top right, probably in Zipcaster. And Starburst, their defense is holding strong for now. They haven't lost anyone, which is really good for them, even though they're running forward at a crab tank. Never would have thought I'd see this.
FLIPPA FLOPPA has man advantage here, and they did make the smart play to back up despite committing with that Booyah. But it's the splash with the crab that has the power clam, and that means that you're not going to be able to use that special when you do opt to push. A 2v2 situation, but as long as FLIPPA FLOPPA maintains control of this right elbow, the more easily they are going to be able to push.
This is Starburst being kind of locked on their pot. Look at all that map control. Not in the favor of Starburst whatsoever. And this game can come down to that. Kyo has that. I think I see three power clams on the side of FLIPPA FLOPPA. This is a good push, but they've lost two. Both teams losing two down, and Ice is behind. One power clam going into the basket. I don't think there's going to be any more follow-up. Good hold from Starburst so far.
Starburst having their plat pinned so that way they could just come right on and clean up that machine. So Starburst maintaining their edge here. They keep in mind that they desperately cannot let this go to a bracket reset, because if they give FLIPPA FLOPPA that momentum, Starburst is going to find themselves looking down the wrong end of a gun, and this lead is so narrow where FLIPPA FLOPPA only needs to dunk a singular power clam in order to be able to pull a lead, and they have the clams to do so, and they have the paint to do so.
I feel like this is going to be one singular push, and it's going to be a giant open snowball fight. Both teams, it can go either way. We see Crab does go down, but at least their teammates were able to trade them out. That's good job from Branch on good teamwork and good team coordination.
And Starburst maintaining excellent presence in mid. The longer that they keep FLIPPA FLOPPA out of mid, the less likely FLIPPA FLOPPA is going to be able to push. Ice here forming a power clam, opting to toss that back to their teammates. And look at the deep stagger that they have FLOPPA in. Just continuously 2, maybe even 3 members down as Starburst is looking to make another score.
They're trying to. They got the Booyah Bomb out. I think they don't realize the person on that right side. Ice is able to get the power clam in. They have a crab tank. Are they able to use it? Yes, they are. There's a machine that is behind them, able to take out 2 members of Starburst down to 62. But I feel like Starburst has got to retreat now.
Because look at the specials that FLIPPA FLOPPA has. They know that that crab can come out, and it did. And they also know that that machine has that Booyah, and that Booyah just does such a good job in terms of clearing Spinner and any sharks that may be lurking around there. FLIPPA FLOPPA desperately trying to claw their way onto Starburst's plat, because this lead is so narrow and they are so close to tasting victory that they just need to get their bodies up there.
So darn close. We want to get these clams, and oh my goodness, Brian's able to find a nice little spot down there in mid. FLIPPA FLOPPA, the crab's going out in mid. This is Starburst. They're able to hold this momentum in mid. They're doing a great job using their splashes to their advantage.
Now, Starburst just needs to maintain control, and they just need to keep one pick on at a time on the members of FLIPPA FLOPPA, given that we only have 30 seconds left. But FLIPPA FLOPPA also needs to have that power clam in their hands. They have it underneath the basket, so they are guaranteed 20 seconds of overtime. But how are they going to use it? Because right now, they don't have any other clams, and they're using all their specials so early, but they don't have presence. So if they get these picks, if they get away, they need to be fast because they don't have the time.
Brand's able to stay alive. That's 2 members of Starburst to make that 3. Keel goes in, slashes, slices, and dices. This is FLIPPA FLOPPA's opportunity. They need to get these clams in the basket. They need to get them in now. They're trying to go in. They're trying to stay alive. The members of Starburst are falling left, right, and center. The power clam's able to go into the basket. One last member of It's just ice and the lead. FLIPPA FLOPPA comes up clutch in a 3-0. We are reset, people.
Here we go! A bracket reset in grand finals, and FLIPPA FLOPPA knew that they had so little time, and I said it, they need to be fast, they need to go now, and then they got those 2 picks, they got the Booyah Bomb online, they got that dunk with the power clam, but they only had 2 members up, and what did those 2 members needed to do? They needed to score, and they did, and because of that, on their back foot, now they're 1 round from being eliminated and going down to 2nd place. FLIPPA FLOPPA looking very favorably to take this dub because this set was hardly a contest with a clean 3-0 in flavor of FLIPPA FLOPPA.
My goodness, what a set. I gotta say, I didn't expect Starburst to get 3-0'd at any point in time in this tournament.
No.
Not after them having such a dominant time in winners. Usually we don't see this kind of a thing. But Skep, before we go into the hype that is grand finals, where we go on Clan Blitz Flounder, I do have to say I know we're gonna have Baja coming on. That's the main organizer of this event coming on. Skep, I think we should probably thank some people before we do that, because I know everyone's gonna want to get places after this tournament's done.
Oh my
so
god.
Where can the lovely people find you?
Me? Oh, Lorsh. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at Skepadillions. Just type !Mike. You'll see Skep come up. It is Skepadillions, but you might be able to find me with Skep. What about you, Genie?
I gotta say that make sure everybody to follow the streams and follow YouTube for Dapple Production and the Twitch. We do so many good tournaments, and where the people can find me is at Genie7. That is GEENIE7_ on Twitter, no underscore on all other socials. We gotta say thank you to all the TOs, especially Pinky, Alice, who've done so much work, and Baja, the main organizer of this, and our great streamers. We've got Boeing on the other stream, we've got Nebula Day 1, and Majora is our streamer today. And to all of our commentators, I'll get to that later because we've got a match at hand. And thank you all for tuning in. It's amazing.
I want to thank everyone who gave Genie and I this opportunity. It is truly appreciated, and we hope to have done our due diligence and provided a fantastic stream for you. I want to thank the members of the TOs that have allowed us to take over your streams and let us practice. I'm looking mainly at Havoc from Squid Junction, as well as Alice from Triton and Grace from SOS. Thank you for always giving us the space to practice our work. And I want to thank a special thank you to K-Bot for coaching Genie and I on our individual pairing and being unrelenting in your criticism, because it does help. Thank you so much. Without further ado, let's move on to Clan Blitz Flounder here in grand finals. This is it. This is the set. Whoever walks away with these dubs is walking away as champion from 20XX.
Call everybody you know. I don't care who they are. Tell them there's more important things to go on than a football game. This is the biggest tournament for Splatoon this year so far. Grand finals time. Winner wins it all.
And here we go with our mirror comps, right? We have Bran and Kyo on those Tri-Slashers. Nothing unexpected, given that we literally saw them play Rainmaker Flounder just a few moments ago. But how quickly this is turning out different, because Starburst winning that initial crap. Oh, and the crab and the Booyah Bomb on poor Bran.
I don't think Starburst is gonna go down easily. They know what it's been like to lose in this situation. They don't want to have this happen again. They're gonna fight so bloody hard to make sure that they don't lose after being in winners a second time.
And this is it, right? If they give FLIPPA FLOPPA any space in order to take these dubs, they can find themselves walking away with an L, and that's not something Starburst wants. That is not something that they consider worthy of their esteem and worthy of their name. So they have a challenge ahead of them, because FLIPPA FLOPPA has all this momentum, taking 3-0 in the first set of grand finals. They are now on equal footing. They have nothing to fear against Starburst. They need to look forward.
I feel like we might start. We're a minute 15 in, and I finally think we might have a little bit of a push. We've got some specials up for FLIPPA FLOPPA, except they lost a member. They're still going to be able to go in. That's going to be 2 down on the side of Starburst. Here goes FLIPPA FLOPPA's opportunity. They've got a power climb, and they're going to try and storm it towards that basket. With Starburst, they're not going to just leave the door wide open.
That That door is locked with a key. Both Tri-Sloshers are down, and that is just so fascinating to me that we are continuously losing both of these Tri-Sloshers at the same time. Flippa Floppa feeling like they want to dunk, they want to step their toes forward, but they end up getting caught out due to Starburst's patience. 2 members down on the side of Flippa Floppa. Make that 3. That is a deep stagger, and they get the 4th. Starburst could be well positioned here to set up for a push. They won't be able to get there quickly enough, but they can certainly enable it.
Ooh, and that's 2 down on the side of Flippa Floppa. The crab tank is out, pressuring out the last 2 that are still alive. You've got a Booyah Bomb going up for Starburst. They've got a Power Clam. They've got the clams and running towards this basket to be able to get a dunk. But where are the follow-up? They've lost their machine. Flippa Floppa, they're still able to be alive here. They're trying to get back in. Trades are in favor of Flippa Floppa because the members of Starburst, they're falling, and they have to retreat back in the mid.
Starburst may have fallen back, but they do have all the clams, so the fact that they were able to grab those clams on their way out and deny them from Flippa Floppa is huge. Flippa Floppa popping one of those crabs, going to generate some space here, look forward, hopefully get some picks, but no, it's Flippa Floppa that goes a member down, and this poor Splash is caught out from that machine, going to have to drop in the trench here and scrappily take this 1v1, but look at that sick miss, doing that work, cutting off the chance for Niagara to take that fight.
Right on this right side, just trying to stay alive. They know that the members of Flippa Floppa know kind of where they are and try and pressure them. They gotta watch out for that Booyah Bomb doing a lot of damage. They get caught out on the wall. Can they win this engagement? They take it out in a trading scenario. But there's another member, Keo. Keo comes from the bottom, gets another trade. There's lots of happening going down in the trench warfare.
We are looking at a game that is going to be decided by the ability to dunk a single power clam. Flippa Floppa needs to get in there. They have the time, but not if they are going to continuously going 3 members down, because Starburst now going to come back in with a vengeance, getting more points.
They got 4. They got 2 power clams going into that basket. That's huge. They're all the way down to 38. They're very close. They're looking for more clams in mid. The members of Flippa Floppa, they're falling. They're not able to stay alive. Keel's trying to find some splash, but Starburst, they're doing too well. They got more clams all the way down to 32. Starburst have come alive, and what a shot from that inkjet. What a flick all the way down to 23. 17, we keep on going. Almost under a minute, and Starburst, this push keeps going all the way down to 8. They've got 5, 2, 1, and that's going to be game. Starburst is on the board.
Starburst taking their first game in Grand Finals, showing that it may be midnight, but they are alive. The stars are high in the sky, and they are there to take this dub. It is their opportunity. They have snatched that momentum away from Flippa Floppa, and now they can start looking at getting more games on the board. But here, for the first time, Flippa Floppa is going to be giving their own counter pick.
Wow, Starburst needed that. They needed that so badly. It's not just like, oh, they went down 0-3 and yeah, Flippa Floppa got the reset on them. It's no, Starburst, they had it in them. They have the skills, they had the talent. That was such a good inkjet. And I gotta say, that was a triple that they needed, and they got it. I'm waiting for this counter.
Honestly, the fact that you go from barely managing to dunk a power clam to scrapping in mid to Flippa Floppa trying their best to step their toes outside of elbow to Starburst bringing it to a KO. Keep in mind that the last set on Clam Glitch Scorch Gorge, we saw Flippa Floppa KO Starburst 100-0. So to go from an 80-0 push in the final minute of the game from Starburst, that is a phenomenal shift in momentum. But also keep in mind that Flippa Floppa has won on every single one of Starburst's counter picks so far in this set. For the first time, they are being asked to counter pick. Surely these are intelligent and very bright players, so they know how much this counter pick is going to matter, but how much of it is going to matter when your opponents are running the exact same comp as you?
True, and they know each other. It's not like Starburst is an unknown team. In Flippa Floppa, they're such talented players. I feel like it just purely comes down to who's better in an individual moment in the game. It's not even who's better in the 5 minutes of the game. It's who's got the bigger explosion in that 5 minutes. That's who wins the game.
I'm gonna quote Kenneth K-Bot. He once said that a game of Splatoon is not about how well you perform over a 5-minute match, but it's about your best individual performance within that 5-minute match. And before he says that, I'm not the first one to say that. Kenneth, I know that from you. So therefore, you said it. But here we go, back on Splatzone's Hagglefish. This was another game that Starburst FLIPPA FLOPPA managed to knock out very, very dominantly by having Niagara on that heavy with that wave breaker, which still does damage to crabs on the ground. So excellent counter pick here from FLIPPA FLOPPA, because here they can bring something to the table Starburst doesn't have.
I completely agree. And yeah, they were able to go through with the counter pick. It took just a little bit of a second to make sure that the maps do reset, and they will. We'll be able to see any of the maps we saw in the earlier reset, the first half of Grands, in this map, because the maps completely turn and reset again. So that's why we're able to see this zone's Hagglefish. I would not expect to see any other comp from FLIPPA FLOPPA except the one that they brought last time.
And that being the heavy, the Stamper, and the double splash. And that gives them something that Starburst doesn't have. Because if I recall correctly, they were running triple splash machine here. And so, having that advantage of the heavy, having that long range, having something that can plant its feet on the ground and just wiggle about, that's something FLIPPA FLOPPA can feel confident about.
Oh yes, I'm very, very, very interested. We got to see what Ice is playing. I wonder if Ice is going to counter pick and go. That would be insane to me if we see that. But I wouldn't swap up too much from Starburst, but they did kind of get throttled last game. We'll see if there's going to be any comp changes. Now here we are, grand finals time.
Here we go, Genie. Looking back at Splatzone's Hagglefish, just as expected, we see Niagara bringing out that heavy remix, and then here we go again, except this time, Starburst making an adjustment, bringing out the Flingza roller in the hands of Ice.
Ice with the Flingza. That missile spam will do a lot of good work. I don't know. I want to see if the matchup between the Zipcaster and the missiles. You pop those missiles and that Zipcaster comes flying at you. That is a matchup to watch out.
Oh, also, I'm concerned about how those missiles are going to impact the positioning of the heavy remix and its ability to provide stability. Regardless, FLIPPA FLOPPA holding on to this zone, but look at the presence that Starburst is able to put down. They managed to get the pick on Keel on that Stamper, and this is looking very different from the previous game because Starburst is in control of that zone, despite the very quick recap here coming from FLIPPA FLOPPA.
They want to get control, and they do. They have to dodge those missiles. They realize that they're all going to be coming at them. Starburst, they're able to punish all the members of FLIPPA FLOPPA who have to back off of zone very quickly. But that heavy, such a clutch position coming from the top ropes, takes out 2, takes out 3. No, not quite. The Weebum's able to able to save Biscuit just for the time being. What a hold.
And look at this! Starburst able to narrow this lead that FLIPPA FLOPPA is holding. Granted, this is a very, very oh my gosh, a narrow and unstable lead here from FLIPPA FLOPPA, but you know what's going to make that more stable? A near wipeout that Starburst is able to provide. Now, all they need to do, they have control of Street. They just need to look forward and they just need to get these missiles. Because if they prevent FLIPPA FLOPPA from creating a stable wave of offense, they're not going to be able to push back in. That's just how Hagglefish works.
And the heavy's gone, the Hagglefish gone. Keo's going into the Zipcaster, trying to cause a lot of distractions, but no one's there to be distracted. They're just going to take Keo as well. That's 2 members gone for FLIPPA FLOPPA, and they know they have to retreat. They know they have to have one last push at this game.
How different this is looking from the last set. Once again, I'm going to remind you that FLIPPA FLOPPA was able to KO this game just moments ago. How different this is looking from Starburst, and the difference being that Flingza roller is shutting down that heavy. FLIPPA FLOPPA does cap here, Genie.
The zone is 100% going to be a flip over for FLIPPA FLOPPA. They knew that they had the advantage, and we're going to see that the machine's going down on this left side. FLIPPA FLOPPA, they know they're going to call them out, and they're able to splat. I believe that was Biscuit on that machine. I want to see the position of this heavy and how much damage it can get done with Keo on that tip.
See how much yellow paint that they can get in front of them before they attempt to do anything, because look at all this space that FLIPPA FLOPPA was able to quickly take. There's paint on the left, there's paint in mid, there's paint on top right, and despite losing their Stamper, having that paint in front of them is just going to stall out the members of Starburst re-engagement.
Baggle's looking not at zone. They're gonna see that Niagara is the last one, kind of defending for FLIPPA FLOPPA on this zone. They don't want to let the zone be capped over. Brand, Crab Tank, doing so much damage, and that's so good to take out the heavy. This chip damage too much, and the paint overwhelms FLIPPA FLOPPA.
Look at this cap. A very, very narrow lead from Starburst at this point. There is 2 minutes left in this game. It is incredibly narrow. Flippa Floppa can absolutely come back to this, especially if they're getting 2 members of Starburst on their way down, but they need to get paint in front of them because Starburst is too enabled with all that purple paint in their court. If Flippa Floppa is able to get in there and get these picks one at a time, which we can see them doing, they can turn this around.
Good paint control for Flippa Floppa at the moment. They've got a wave breaker, which will cause a little bit of disruption for those crabs. The missiles, though, they're going to do so much work. If Nehagor falls, that would be devastating. You can't lose your heavy in that scenario. And look at how much work Keo's doing with that zip caster. Forces 2 of the crabs to go in baller form. Booyah Bomb is out on his own. Flippa Floppa trying to hold on. Starburst painting, trying to paint. Both teams scrapping it out. Flippa Floppa lose Keo. There's 2 members down for Flippa Floppa. Starburst are trying to paint the zone, and they're able to cap it with 1 point remaining.
1 point, that is it. That is all of the lead that Starburst has set themselves up for earlier in the game. That is all they are holding by now, by the narrowest thread of a spider. They just need to hold on, and they need to do it with these missiles that are going to keep flushing Flippa Floppa out of their own court, keep forcing them back in 20 penalty points. That is incredibly narrow, and then they can talk about starting to feel more comfortable, but the zone, it just keeps flipping into neutral as that wave breaker comes out, Genie.
10 ticks left on Starburst's penalty. The zone is neutralized. Flippa Floppa trying to cap it. Ice goes down, and good job from Flippa Floppa. They're able to stay alive. This was going to look difficult. We see the crab tank on the left side. There's a jump. Can this jump be punished? The machine doing such a good job. Such good work. Bagel falls. Can Biscuit fall as well? 2 members gone from Starburst. This is a door open for Flippa Floppa.
It is huge because they just need to clear the members of Starburst out of their court. Starburst, this lead is going to fall. Flippa Floppa is going to be able to pull lead, but Starburst, they need to get into that zone. They need to cap. They need to force the situation into overtime, and they can do it. That Booyah Bomb is about to come out. There are 9 ticks remaining. It is just 10 seconds left in the game, and they need to go now. But the zone, it flips into neutral.
They paint it. They paint over it. Starburst, they paint over it. 2 members, 3 members are gone for Flippa Floppa. Ice running forward with the flings of all those rolls. Brand painting up. We're in overtime here, people. Flippa Floppa, they've got like 1 good chance to get back in here. They've got to go through a Booyah Bomb and a crab tank out of Starburst. Here it goes. This is going to be so darn close, and that's Keo gone. This is Biscuit trying to get some damage done. They still have their Booyah Bomb at the ready. How much more work can they get done? Flippa Floppa, they're trying to make it in with their crab tank. Looks like it's going to get shut down. No, 2 members of Starburst are gone. There's the Booyah Bomb. It's going to try to defend zone. It's going to get shredded. Booyah Bomb trying to neutralize the zone. Flippa Floppa trying to paint. Who's here for Starburst? Who's able to paint it? Nobody. Flippa Floppa takes game 2.
Unbelievable. Absolutely stunning. Starburst capping that zone with literally 2 seconds left in the game before Flippa Floppa would have walked away with the W. But Flippa Floppa, they lose Keo. And you think to yourselves, oh, that's it. They lost a player. Starburst has 12 penalty points left. And then, their lead is only 15 points. This is it. That's going to be it. But Starburst, they knew in their bones that they only needed to cap once. And they managed to do it.
My goodness. What a mid-tournament adaptation from Starburst. That original matchup between these 2 teams on this map was nothing like this. It was 100-0 over really quickly. Starburst, they had leads in this game, but they just couldn't defend it. Flippa Floppa proved to be just that little bit better on this map mode.
And the adjustment that came out from Starburst, right? I'm gonna once again remind you that Flippa Floppa KO'd that last 15 minutes ago. And what did Starburst do? They said, let's have Ice go on the Flingza roller. And what a fabulous adjustment that was, because for the longest time in that game, Flippa Floppa's counter pick, they held on to that. They had the lead, but Flippa Floppa just refused to give up. They refused to just lay down and die. And then finally, capping that zone in overtime, it absolutely boggles my mind. And now Starburst is being asked once again to counterpick, but they need to be careful because they know that Flippa Floppa can bring them to their knees on their own counterpick.
Yeah, and we're just waiting on that counterpick. Starburst, they're just trying to pace out and see what they want to go to. Remember, they've lost all of their counterpicks in the first half of Grands. It's a little bit of a daunting task if you're like, we're kind of like 0-2 on our counterpicks here. This is something that a weird feeling, and it's like, where are we safe to go to? I think the pick is going to be tower control on Sturgeon Shipyard. That is looking to be the pick, and that is what it will be.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm crazy or not, but I'm feeling a nice charger. Does that ring true to you? Because Ice, a fabulous backline player, one of the best that we have in the West, who has been delegated to splash and crab duty, and here we are picking Tower Control Sturgeon, one of the best maps for leader in the game. I might be coping. But Starburst might be cooking.
Coping, no, nothing cooking. It's just simmering. Skep, what we're gonna see here, we're gonna see a classic. Each team has 2 splashes. Starburst has 2 machines. FLIPPA FLOPPA has a machine and a stamper.
But Starburst knows that they need to adjust, Genie. I might.
Okay, you might be onto something. Wait, I'm not gonna be shocked if we see. Oh, well, the first half of the prediction is right. Let's see if the second half. Second half. Yep, second half.
I'm coping. I'm coping. Devil Splash, Devil Machine. Same old, same old.
We had the interesting with the Tri-Stars. We gotta go back to what is strong. There's a reason why it is strong, and there's a reason why it is so popular.
But this is their own counter pick, right? So Starburst, they have something that they want to accomplish here, and I'm guessing that has a lot to do with those machines and those burst bombs, because all that chip that can provide around these very unstable and unlevel elevations, particularly in mid, that's going to play into Starburst.
Early push coming out from FLIPPA FLOPPA. Hold up. Wait, 2 members down from both sides. Neither team is able to really find anything. We've seen this all day from the top team. So it's just the trades, and it's just who has those specials up in that second team, which starts to push those power.
And FLIPPA FLOPPA has KO'd Tower Control Sturgeon. We saw it many times over the course of this day, but they don't clear that first checkpoint. So in terms of momentum and in terms of stability and predictability, the fact that FLIPPA FLOPPA did not clear that first checkpoint raises my eyebrows. I'm very curious as to what's going to happen here, because Starburst absolutely keeping them on their toes.
Starburst, oh, there's a crab from FLIPPA FLOPPA onto the spinner, but is it going to be punished? And Keo goes in with the zip catcher to get taken out really darn quickly. Both teams losing members back and forth. The Booyah Bomb should be punished here, and it will be. FLIPPA FLOPPA, they're pushing this tower, but they've lost 2 of their members, and they realize that and are going to start kind of backing off, not capping that.
Yeah, not forcing it, which is good, right? But 2 members down on the side of Starburst means that if they had tried to focus that checkpoint, they probably would have cleared that by now. And here we go with that crab on the tower. The crab is an immovable force unless you have a Booyah Bomb or a whale. And thus, finally, we do see that first checkpoint clear, despite the FLIPPA FLOPPA has been tapping it for 2 minutes of this game.
So close. They've gotten through that checkpoint. FLIPPA FLOPPA, they've lost their members, but they did get that checkpoint. Something good for them. Starburst, they're coming in from this right side. They're trying to make their way. Ice with that crab tank. Help their teammates get the splash, and they realize that Booyah Bomb's going to come in. As long as no members fall, this is a really good opportunity for Starburst.
It is all the members of FLIPPA FLOPPA coming out of their spawn. Starburst at that first checkpoint with 3 specials. They are going to need that Booyah, either of them, in order to clear windows. So that way FLIPPA FLOPPA doesn't have an opportunity to pop that crab there. There we go. We see the Booyah Bomb. It does force the crab back as Starburst tries to cook their way through this first checkpoint.
Cook they did. The good crab legs on that tower. The crab made all that space, and the lead will be swapping for Starburst. They are going to be wanting to get the second checkpoint as fast as possible. The jumps are coming in from the FLIPPA FLOPPA, and they're all crashing on that tower. Members of both teams are falling, but the machines are holding true. Biscuit unfortunately falls. Kyo's coming in there, slashing and dashing and dicing up the competition, turning them into mincemeat sushi.
And here we go, Starburst holding on to a lead, right? And FLIPPA FLOPPA trying to break their way back into the mid, but they lose Kyo in the process. 3 members of Starburst all grouped up on that right side, and they're working together in order to clear the members of FLIPPA FLOPPA out of mid, not even giving them an opportunity to get burst paint down there in mid as they work their way the tower all the way back around to where it just was. FLIPPA FLOPPA finding themselves on their back foot here. I'm thinking that this was an excellent counter pick from Starburst.
Look at how close both these games are. It could go any way at any possible moment. But Biscuit finds a great sort of needle, but to take it out right away. Great play from that splash. They're just trying to dance and dodge their way through mid. They see the crab tank. They see 2 members of Starburst. They're pressuring them out. And FLIPPA FLOPPA, this is really good for them because they forced all these jump outs and all the space control in mid to be theirs.
It's not a checkpoint between Flippa Floppa and victory. All they need to do is get their toes on that checkpoint and just stand there and dance a little bit for just a moment. They have that booyah, they have that crab. If this crab gets on top left, which we are seeing them trying to do through that spinner, that can just be so devastating for the members of Starburst. The tower is at checkpoint, Genie. They are where they need to be.
They're so darn close, and there's only one more member alive on the side of Star. Can Keo find them? They're trying to slash them, but they can't. The Booyah Bomb is out. I believe that's a lead swap, and the checkpoint will be broken. Flippa Floppa. They're running this forward, but they've lost 2 members. That is a really massive checkpoint to take, though, so late in the game.
It's fantastic, and as long as they maintain some control of mid, which they're not going to be able to, given how that machine is being swarmed by the members of Starburst, the longer they can stall this out. Flippa Floppa needs to get their specials, and they need to get them quickly, because they have 30 seconds, and the last thing they want is Starburst having that tower anywhere near that second checkpoint, because if there's anyone who knows how to scrap it out, it's Starburst.
Starburst, they know how important this is. They see that the jumps are out. They forced a Booyah to be used that was on the side of Starburst. There's a Booyah Bomb at the ready for Flippa Floppa. It's gone, though. It's gone. There's 2 members gone. The checkpoint is rolling through. The Keo's diving onto this tower. The last member that can truly fight. And the zone, sorry, the tower, it's been controlled by Keo. Able to knock the last member of Starburst before overtime starts.
Oh my gosh. The play from Keo to just dive bomb that tower and start working its way back to mid, despite the fact Flippa Floppa was already 2 down. The members of Starburst weren't prepared for that. They weren't prepared for Keo to feed for tower, and when it came down to the moment, they weren't able to get someone on objective when they needed it most, as overtime was working its way, as they were working their way towards overtime. Fantastic play from Flippa Floppa, and here we go, Genie. Match point in favor of Flippa Floppa. Dare I say tournament point.
This is for everything. I gotta go back on that play for Keo. You saw the members of Flippa Floppa. The machine had fallen. They had fallen, and he's like, oh, the GG Booyah Bomb, it's gone. Good play by Starburst to get 3 members up and just go in. But they forgot, Keo can just dive from wherever he wants to with that Zipcaster, and that proved to be too much. I'm looking forward to what kind of counterattack is going to be. We cannot go to clams, because that's what Starburst won. They have to go to, I'm probably gonna say Rainmaker.
I don't know. Starburst has had a turbulent run here on day 2. Every single one of their matches has been incredibly scrappy. Even if they've walked away with a W, they won 2-0 over Sonder, and then 3-2 over Rob E, going to a game 5, and then finally Flippa Floppa a 3-1 victory before Grand Finals in order to send Flippa to losers bracket, and then also 3-1 over Kagura. Those are sets in which you are losing games, in which sets you are on edge, sets in which you are on your toes, and then finally here in Grand Finals, Flippa takes the dub in a 3-0 situation. Starburst not winning a game before the bracket reset. Something happened, something toggled in order for them to take the victory on Clam Blitz Flounder, but here we go with Rainmaker Hagglefish, which is a map that Flippa Floppa has won on twice this, but Starburst, keeping in mind that we haven't played Rainmaker yet.
That is a very key point, and the mode is different. Even though the stage might be the same, the mode is different, and that can cause a massive, massive turn of events. Maps can be play out so completely differently depending on the mode. I gotta look at this jump. This map is so speedy. I know I'm gonna quote a very good friend of mine who I often commentate a lot, who says this is like the Rainmaker Black Belly Skate Park of Splatoon 3. Skep, do you know who that is?
There's no way you just quoted me in front of me, bro. I'm right here. You stole my line, Genie. What do I say now? I'm glad we don't have stingrays.
Okay, that's a can of worms for a different. Hey, I play a lot of Jet Sculpture, so I guess to hold my head up, but that's I miss Stingray.
I'm flattered. Thank you, Genie. But as Genie quoted me about, yeah, I do consider this the Rainmaker Black Belly of Splatoon 3. In terms of once you get onto that plat, it is how far are you gonna get? We all remember Rainmaker Black Belly from Splatoon 2, or at least a good portion of us remember. I'm sorry, I shouldn't assume. Once you got on the elbow, if you were going, you were going. And it was very difficult for an opponent to stop you. A similar situation here on Rainmaker Hagglefish. You have that defensive point for the defending team up on that top right, and then they have to drop. most of the time in order to be able to stop you. And here we are in match point, and Starburst picking an incredibly volatile map mode for what could very possibly be the last game of the tournament.
This is all but that. There's one more possible game we could go to, and that would be a Game 5. If you want to see Game 5, cheer for Starburst. If you want to see the bracket reset fully come true, cheer for FLIPPA FLOPPA. This match will be legendary.
It is, and this is it. This is the biggest major since the start of the year. Here concluding with Starburst versus FLIPPA FLOPPA. Anything could happen, and a lot of crabs will come to the table.
This game, lots of crabs so far. We just got so neutral game. Waiting out. It's not who gets the first crabs, it's who gets the second crabs. We've seen that race been played again and again as we see Keo go down pretty darn early.
Starburst painting the area around mid to possibly enable Brand to pick up the fish, but they do lose one of those splashes. FLIPPA FLOPPA, now look how quickly that turns. FLIPPA FLOPPA having control of mid. They have forward presence. They have the path to the Rainmaker painted up, and they choose to grab it here, getting Biscuit on the way. This could be a first checkpoint break for them if they don't lose the splash in the elbow, and they do. Now those crabs coming out. Starburst going to cut off that fish's access to that pedestal. How quickly, once again, the tides have turned. FLIPPA FLOPPA needs to be careful about this fish here.
They do, but the Rainmaker, it's such a powerful tool. Starburst isn't able to push it. When there are no crab tanks remaining, they just can't push it. This Rainmaker is going forward. Can they find the space onto this first checkpoint? They're looking to go for it, but those burst bombs, those fizzies, too many, and it's causing too much damage. They're going to go left side. Smart play.
They break the checkpoint, right? Now they have that free jump on that right side checkpoint in order to be able to just score free points. But look, here on this left side, there's no members of Starburst here to defend. Ice does drop, fails to gets the pick, but the fish is still there, Genie.
That's okay, because that Rainmaker would have gotten so many more points, all way past 41. And 41 isn't even what the leap is. That's 37. So this is massive. I think Keo's just going to grab it and try and run forward. Gets all the way down to 31. Good points. Good points for FLIPPA FLOPPA. But this map, never over.
It's not over yet because there's only 2 members of Starburst up, and FLIPPA FLOPPA manages to get the pick. Ice drops and tries to get the fish, but these excellent squid rolls from, I believe it was Niagara, in order to be able to get the fish to 11 remaining. That is a devastating, and that is a deep cutting push because Starburst now needs to not only clear that checkpoint, but get this all the way towards nearly a KO. They can do it. It is Rainmaker Black Belly after all. Of course, for Splatoon 3, but they need to get into mid first.
Yeah, and FLIPPA FLOPPA, all this control that they have. Starburst, they're on their back feet. They're so far deep in their spawn. This next push could be more than just lethal. Keo is gone. The rest of the members of FLIPPA FLOPPA, they're trying to stall it out. The Rainmaker's in mid, and they're going to be the last ones alive. They're going to be taken out. Starburst, wipe out. They need this so badly, and they need a checkpoint right now.
Look at this. Look at Starburst painting up that left side. They're going to bring the fish around left. They're bringing it around town. They're repeating exactly what FLIPPA FLOPPA did to them with an Uno reverse card. That is fascinating to me. 2 members down on the side of FLIPPA.
Here goes Bagel with the Rainmaker. They're going to be escorted by Biscuits Booyah. How much further can they go? They see the crab tank. It's trying to make all this space. 1 member of Starburst has gone down. Can Bagel find the shots with the Rainmaker that they need? Crab tank is out, I believe, from Ice. 2 members of Starburst gone. Bagel's going to be shut down here. They get 1. Can they get 2? They're trying to roll forward all the way with the squid roll. There's a little bit of panic down to 18. 2 members gone from both sides. This push is not done. I think the jumps are going to be camped from Starburst. Brand's able to get a nice little splat. I think this is it for Starburst. Hold up. The Rainmaker's going to be popped. Are they going to reset it from FLIPPA FLOPPA? Are they going to get it off the map? And Biscuit not able to land the shots.
FLIPPA FLOPPA resetting the fish, but look at where the members of Starburst are. They still have control of this elbow, and Ice falls back in order to be able to grab the Rainmaker. Starburst has a minute left to take lead in this game because they are finding themselves in tournament point. FLIPPA FLOPPA could walk away with it all unless Starburst manages to clear this elbow. They are trying again, Genie. They are refusing to give up.
They want to go left side. I've never seen teams push left side this much. These top teams have some weird and wacky strats that I'm loving. Ice trying to stall out that crab tank. They see the burst bombs and Keo comes in, doesn't care, runs forward. We've got under a minute left on the clock, and Starburst needs this game.
And look at all that purple paint in mid that they're going to have to clear through. That's going to enable Starburst to just keep coming back into mid. They have access to that fish, but they're 2 members down. Biscuit here opting to take the risky play, opting to duke this out, knowing that Keo is right there, refusing to give up this position, despite the fact that they are at a man disadvantage. They get the pick on Keo. This could be the turning points for Starburst Genie. They could bring it around.
We are in the final 15 seconds. This feels like it. Tournament point could be sealed. here. Ice has a Rainmaker. Members of Starburst are starting to fall. Burst bombs are coming out. Both teams smart from Ice to just back up. They need their team to push this. They need their team in overtime. Here we go. Can FLIPPA FLOPPA end this right here? Or can Starburst go? Ice so far back, and here comes Keo with the zip caster. Can Keo end it right here, right now? Looking so close. Ice is dancing. Ice is dodging. Ice is weaving. There's people all around in front of them, and they can't stay alive. FLIPPA FLOPPA are gonna be your 20XX4 champions.
And look at the way that ended. You could see that Ice was opting to just slow down, opting to fall, hoping that her teammates would be able to come in and get picks. But Kyo coming in with that Zipcaster and providing just enough distraction in order for it all to end. FLIPPA FLOPPA may have lost in the original bracket, but here they go, turning it around at a bracket reset, taking it 6-1 over Starburst. What a fantastic and glorious run.
When you roll, they tumble. When they flip, you flop. FLIPPA FLOPPA, your 20XX champions. First of 2023. Congratulations to be the first international major held in the West. Great job. And it was so darn close. But before everybody leaves, we have to say thank you to all turning out. And thank you to all of our teams and all of our winners. I don't know exactly who they are, but I do know that Baja will be joining us on mic very shortly, who is the tournament owner. And thank you all for coming out and watching this glorious event.
Hello. I am Baja, like Jeannie said, the head TO for 20XX. I just want to thank a couple people today, and thank you all for watching today. This has been probably our biggest event we've ran yet, and it ran very smoothly, and I'm very happy that everyone seemed to enjoy. So first, I just want to give a thank you to my fellow TOs, Lip Blue, Havoc, Pulp, Dally, Ducky, and Knife. I couldn't do this without any of those people, and I'm very happy that you all are there to help me. I also like to thank Dapple Productions as a whole, as well as Alice and Pinky for helping me with this idea to begin with when I first pitched it to them and bring it to where it is now. And then finally, I'd like to thank Failboat, Jmoji, and ProChara. Failboat and Jmoji contributed to the prize pool as well as hosted our casual stream today that's going on Failboat's channel. And that was very successful as well, and I'm very happy people enjoyed that. And then ProChara donated to the prize pool as well, as he was the one who a year ago streamed the first 20XX to everybody. So without him, we probably would not be here right now today. So I want to say thank you to him as well. With that, I'm glad everyone enjoyed the tournament. GG's to FLIPPA FLOPPA for taking the entire tournament. I know Keo's very happy about that. And we hope to see you guys next time.
Yeah, with that, thank you so much, Baja. We gotta tell them about who won the Gamma. Gamma went to Backlink. Congratulations to Backlink. And Hex was able to come up clutch and win Beta. But I gotta say thank you to all, and thank you, Skep, for joining me on this crazy adventure.
Yeah, thank you, Jeannie. I know we had a chance to thank Kenneth Bott, but and also all of the wonderful staff and TOs that helped run this event. But I would like to thank you. I'm gonna gas Jeannie for a minute, everyone. Jeannie invited me to commentate 20XX in December, and since then we have commentated like 15 tournaments. We're talking dozens of hours on mic practicing for this event, and then 1 a.m. conversations and VOD reviewing our commentary and preparation for this event. So thank you so much, Jeannie, for inviting me and for putting in the work with me to be here, and I think we put on a show.
Yeah, and I don't think this will be the last of that anyone hears of us for sure. I know that we've made something special, and I gotta say thank you to Alice for giving me the opportunity. For first of all giving me the opportunity those, I want to say 4 years ago, the first time I ever started commentating, and now she trusted me enough to give Dapple's biggest event of the year, and I loved doing it with you. Twitch chat is roasting me for my channel points. Guys, I don't care about my channel points. I commentate, I don't know how many tournaments in Dapple. 100k channel points is like nothing to me. That's like a penny.
I have 377 channel points.
That's it?
I know, I'm terrible.
I still have 100k in the bank.
Oh my lord.
And I spent 100k.
Well, thank you, Jeannie. And without further ado, I think you and I should get some dinner.
Yep.
So, is there anything else you need to say?
Do we final donations? Do we have any donations? We were up to, hold up, what was it? I saw it. Majora posted it to me. We were at $1,816.26 American dollars. So that is the prize pool. That will be split up. I believe. Yeah, that's still just gonna be the 3 ways. We didn't reach that. So yeah. With that, further ado, thank you to everyone there. I will post a tweet about thanking everyone later. But go enjoy Jam and Squid School. Thank them so much for doing the analyst desk. Enjoy the biggest sporting event of the day. Not you, Super Bowl. It was 20XX.
So true. All right. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. I hope you have a lovely evening and stay fresh.